He needed help. Real help. He was 320 pounds. Nothing fit, not even his skin. It bore ridges of brown and pale stretch marks, war scars from years of expanding and contracting at the wax-wane whims of his gluttony. Sometimes his skin exploded into boils that grew to 3 inches in width and crested at white, angry heads. It hurt him to sit down or stand up or tie his shoes or reach his back when he took a bath. Whenever he walked, every joint in his body cracked and popped. His muscles pulsed for a respite, and his heart raced with his lungs to reach the bedroom upstairs from the kitchen below, or the store 2 blocks down for some bottled water, or the bus stop 3 blocks up to get to work. He needed help. Real help. His wardrobe was relegated to ill-fitting tents from Rochester's Big and Tall that sometimes cost more than his weight in pounds. He always cringed at the way stores like that preyed on the weakness of the large and physically malformed. For shoes, he wore European leather Oxfords that burst at the seams whenever he forced his waterlogged feet into their ever-shrinking holes. "It's 9 p.m. That's why they don't fit. Everybody's feet swell at night." That's what he told himself. But it was the morning. It was 9 a.m. and his feet were already twice their normal size. Around his neck, he always donned a scarf. When he was in Europe 3 years prior, the only thing he could fit in with scarves, so he started a collection. He was noted in college for his neckwear. He never wore the same piece twice. They were his trademarks, his claim to collegiate fashionista fame, his way of rising above the rest. So in his fatness, he kept the scarves to hang on to his sartorial past. But those days were gone now. He needed help. Real help. He was morbidly obese and pre-diabetic. He had fatty liver syndrome, high blood pressure, kidney protein leakage, and arrhythmic heart. He spent more than half of his week and a fourth of his paycheck shuttling from one doctor to another, only to hear over and over and over again that he needed to lose weight. He was only 26 years old, and his primary physician told him that he wouldn't live to see 45 if he didn't stop. He needed help. Real help. So he went to her, Natalie Jansen, for relief. "What's joy look like to you?" she asked him. "My name in lights," he replied with faux confidence. He was a writer for the theater, though he hadn't typed a letter in over 3 years. He was too busy trying to catch his breath. And he knew his work suffered at the hands of his fat, but he couldn't stop it. She looked at him with truth-seeking eyes, and he tried again. "Me in love with my man." He was a homosexual. He found men attractive, but never mustered the courage to approach one. He often sat at gay bars in Silver Lake, or stood erect at farmers' markets in Hollywood, or lounged at theatrical events downtown and watched all the pretty gays go by. They would look at him with cursory disgust, or pass him without a glance, or zoom by to avert his gaze, and all the while reinforce one simple truth. He was ugly. Big, fat, undesirable. He needed help. Real help.
Hi, my name is Caesar Williams, and I am the Artistic Director of the Fire This Time Festival. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Fire This Time Festival's Alumni Spotlight, featuring Season 7 playwright Roger Q. Mason. In our 11 seasons, our mission has not changed. It is to amplify the pipeline of writers of the African diaspora. So today, you're going to get a chance to experience a tasting of Roger's work, performed by some of the finest actors in the industry. You will also hear from theater luminaries who will talk to you about Roger. You will even hear about Roger from Roger. The spotlight and the amplification of Black voices is important, now more than ever. If you believe in this cause, if you believe in this work, we ask you to support the Fire This Time Festival by going to our website, firethistimefestival.com, and making a tax-deductible donation. But tonight should feel like a celebration, because that is exactly what it is. It is not only a celebration of Roger, but it is a celebration of the community and each and every one of us, because Roger is us. Roger is complex, fearless, vulnerable, sensitive, angry, funny, outraged, loving, and yes, a little dangerous, but most importantly, beautiful and unique. It is now my honor to pass the mic to our friend, the incredible, two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, Lynn Nottage.
Hey there. I had the good fortune of teaching Roger playwriting at Princeton. I have taught for many, many years, and there are always a few students who absolutely demand to be remembered. Roger always brought energy, imagination, humor, and spirit into the room. They were an incredible storyteller, driven and passionate in a way that I found utterly infectious. I remember just really early on, Roger had a vision. And I remember thinking, who is this person so focused and committed to bringing stories of BIPOC queer people to the stage in a way that felt warm and witty, truthful, lyrical, irreverent, unapologetic, and most importantly, nurturing. Roger had such a clear mission from the very first day of class. And I admired that. I admired how focused they were. And I just am so thrilled to see that the world has finally caught up with Roger and recognized the abundance of their talent and the generosity of their spirit. And I am just more than thrilled to be able to celebrate and recognize Roger.
Hey there, y'all. This is Roger Q. Mason. And my work in New York really started because of my involvement with the Fire This Time Festival. It all began in 2015 when I debuted my short play Hard Palate. In this play, a young germaphobe prepares to go on an eventful first date, but unfortunately, he is haunted by his own anxieties, manifested by none other than Brooke Shields.
Don't answer it.
This is my fear.
Don't answer that call.
I already did.
Why did you give him your number?
She can tell you anything.
These phones are like trackers.
Like eyelash lengthener.
He knows where we are.
A lazy boy.
He can find you day or night.
B-grade eyeglasses.
Now you have nothing to protect you from him. Whatever thin veil of anonymity you once had has been tragically thrown away.
Or the feeling of terminal illness when you sit next to that guy scratching his scabbed arm on the bus. But I've got her under control now.
What if he's a converted divorcee, a stalker, a basher?
Hey,
A slasher, a thrasher.
Girl, not on today.
A giver of thrash.
Miss Brooke.
Oh God, your poor throat itching, pulsing, rasping. You're done for good.
Miss Brooke. No, ma'am. Get yourself together. Breathe in self-assurance.
Self-assurance.
Breathe out fret.
Fret.
Again. We good? Good. Let's try this one more time. Hey, man. Can you hear me now? I'm so sorry. I think my phone's fucked up. Bad reception or some shit. I'm at the end of my contract, and I swear these things are set to self-destruct. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man. No worries. I feel you.
Oh my God. Do you hear that voice? He's masked. So masked. Like so.
Huh?
Shit.
Wait, you say something?
You were saying your name.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm Clayton.
Hey, Clay. Can I call you that? I really hope it's okay. I'm just jumping off a ledge here because, to be fair, you were just C on the app. Clay, Clayton, sorry. And are you trying to telegraph some sort of gender neutrality through that gesture of naming? I mean, that's cool if you are. I'm here for it. I am most deaf your ally in that choice, and I will defend it before any of those fuckers who thinks they can. I'm assuming, oh God, now you're offended. You're quiet because I've offended you. I've overstepped and overstayed my welcome in your ear space. And hello? You still there? If you're not, I completely understand. This is all on me. Hello? Oh, fuck.
You're cute.
Really?
I mean, you think too much, but
I should just crawl under my little rock now and die.
there's no need for big drama, man. It's just an observation. It's cool. I mean, I think too much too sometimes, but shit, right? You got like a lot going on up there, man.
You have no idea.
Man, you got to relax sometimes. Shut it down. Hey, what are you doing tonight?
So soon.
What did you have in mind?
Well, I'm at 24.
Where?
A 24-hour fitness. The gym. You go?
Oh, yeah. All the time. Hey, give it back.
He's a rapper.
Quit looking at that.
He has his hat on backwards.
Hand me my phone.
He wears hoodies and two big phones. Is this what you like?
He's nice. He texted me voluntarily, unprompted. I didn't have to do a thing that's never happened before.
He's a predator. You're his dead meat for the night.
Just give me my fucking...
Well, maybe he's on the DL. Sorry, my brother. I don't think this is gonna plan out. You dig?
What the hell is your problem? I don't sound like that. This isn't 1967.
I'm just trying to help you, keep you safe and out of trouble.
Trouble isn't lurking around the corner. Trouble's not lurking around the corner. Trouble is not lurking around the corner.
Are you all right, man? It seems like there's some kind of like drama going on over there. Like,
We all good over here.
oh, who's we? I mean, if you're with your people, I could just...
You want to go to that gym, don't you? Do it. But just remember, it's dangerous out there.
Hey, Clay.
Yeah.
My phone's about to die. I think I should. He asked me where I lived. What should I tell him?
Whatever you want.
Excuse me?
You heard me, whatever you want.
What's gotten into you? You're so...
You're grown. You know what's best for you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The app was saying we're like 0.2 miles away or whatever that ish means.
Yeah, I live 2 blocks away from the gym.
Ask him to come over.
What?
Tell him to come over.
Are you there right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm by the gym right now.
Tell him to come over so your mother can see.
She won't know. I can have him come to the back of the house.
There you go sneaking. That's how it starts.
I'm an adult. I may still live at home, but I'm old enough. I can do what I want. Hell, he'll come through the front door.
When he comes through the front, will you be ready?
Sure.
For the screaming and the crying and the pangs of the ages, the what did I do to deserve this? Am I a good mother? And the 10 Hail Marys and no red meat for a month to cleanse her soul. You'll break her. Hasn't that poor woman been through enough?
She'll have to get over it. This is who I am. You're still at the gym? I can come over if you like.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm in the sauna.
Sauna. Ow. Sweaty.
Yo, how often do you really come to this gym?
All the time. I was there last night.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's no sauna.
Oh.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And we all got secrets. And you don't need it, puppy. Like, well, the gym, I mean, you know.
Yes, I do. My thighs make thunder. My chest is an emerging B cup. My sides are.
You don't need it. All right, you look fine.
You see my pictures?
Yeah, man.
All of them. Even those from the gourmet phase of last spring?
Yeah, dude. I like what I see. Let's hang out sometime. Like for real and shit. Like not on this phone. Would you like that?
Yeah, I would.
Cool. It's just text me when you're free, baby.
Did you see that? He asked me out. He asked me out. Me. Not that thin little white boy who cuts his hair short, squints his eyes, dirties his nails, and quotes Foucault and Tupac to attract a cosmopolitan brother. Not one of these hard-muscled chocolate love dreams who went vegan for religious reasons and stayed because it made him look good. Not the next half European, half Asian, half whatever pan-human whose green eyes and pink lips haunt every postmodern wet dream. No, me, stocky brown me. He likes me. I can feel it.
You don't know about him.
I thought you were in lotus pose meditating on leaving my ass alone.
I was till you stopped using common sense. What's his name?
Clayton.
His last name?
I don't know.
You should.
It's not important. That kind of stuff doesn't matter anymore. People don't give things like that out anymore. And if you ask for them, you look like a stalker.
You would trust this man.
He's really nice.
You met him on a hookup app.
He's different.
You don't know that. Who's he been with? Where's his mouth been?
He asked me out on a date.
Why would he ask you out?
Because
these little indiscretions.
you disgust me.
What do you want him to do to you?
I want what every human wants.
That's where it all starts. Little slips in judgment.
I'm a virgin because of you. The things you put in my head. I've got carpal tunnel from all the jacking off I do. I want the real thing. I deserve it. I want Clayton.
A few compliments and you are head over your heels, just like a desperate little hussy.
Fuck you. Leave me alone. Get off my back. I am going to live my life. I'm too old for your shit. Go! I don't need you around anymore.
Good luck, Quentin Brickstone. You'll need it.
I have spent my entire life listening to her. She's full of shit. Do you know I had a phase during the first avian flu epidemic where I washed my hands every time I touched a door because I was sure I'd get it? My knuckles cracked and bled for a month. For years, I have made sure to put down at least 12 toilet safety guards when I sit down in a public restroom. Any more and the pipes overflow. That's happened. Any less and something will seep through, I'm sure of it. Someone's herpes lurking, or the clap, hoping for a new host. Or fuck this. Clayton is nice. He thinks I'm cute. He's pursuing me. I don't even have to try. And it feels good. He's fine. He goes to the gym. He's healthy. He does chest and back and cardio. He's fine, right? Right?
Clayton and Quentin stand in front of each other. Quentin is beaming.
Happy birthday.
Really?
Wait, it's not?
No, it is. You're so sweet.
Clayton kisses Quentin. Quentin is stunned, silence and sprung. He tastes someone else's DNA sliding warmly down his throat.
Listen, I know we skipped a step. My bad. I mean, like, the first date is supposed to be coffee or whatever, but we're already kicking it, and now there's a kiss involved. So now we're in a situation.
You don't see me complaining, baby. Why are you so nice, Clayton?
Shouldn't I be? You see, that's the problem now. There's no gentleman left in the world. Yo, are the burgers here good?
Hell yeah. Sometimes I order two.
Thank God you can eat.
Excuse me?
No, you keep it real. Like, you know, some of these fools order a side salad and eat half. I mean, that's some bullshit, cuz like I know you hungry, you know? Where's the head? I should wash up.
You want me to show you?
Maybe.
Quentin and Clayton are in the street.
We started something in the bathroom.
Quentin touches Clayton's thigh.
Chill, Q. Man, we in the streets, man.
I'd like to finish it.
Slow down, Q.
It's my birthday. The lips are so sweet. I'd like to taste them all night.
Quentin reaches into Clayton's pants.
Man, you don't know me like that yet.
This is my night. I feel safe with you. Come here.
Quentin fillets Clayton.
Q, no, Q, I'm positive.
Me too. I want you. You can watch. The danger makes me hot.
Oh, I have HIV, but you can't get it from kissing.
1,000 shards of broken glass fall from the sky. Quentin is mortified.
I did more than kiss you.
Brooke Shields enters, shuddering, standing between Quentin on one side, Clayton on the other. Your mouth, his head.
There's a scratch on the roof of my mouth. My hard palate. It was the fries, I'm sure.
Those little indiscretions.
I've got it under control. You know, my cocktail is good. My viral loads are low.
His dick dripping cum, pre-cum, whatever.
No, it felt so good to be warm again. You know, for someone to see me, not my...
Danger seeping inside you, the things we fear coming true.
I've got it now.
No, you don't, man. Everything's cool.
I'm done for. I might as well be dead.
Now all you see is my disease.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Quentin and Brooke Shields start to clench their chests. They are both having trouble breathing. Brooke Shields draws closer and closer to Quentin, trying to reach for his neck. Clayton sees Quentin gasping.
Quentin, baby, please, just...
Clayton starts running towards Quentin, who doesn't notice him because he's in a holy battle with Brooke. Quentin wrestles Brooke's hands from his neck and pushes her to the ground. Clayton can't see Brooke, but he hears everything Quentin says, and he's taken aback.
Stop. Stop breathing so hard because there's nothing to worry about any longer. He's given it to me. Okay? The gift. And it's only going to be a matter of time before it festers and fills me up. And you know what? I feel relieved because now I don't have to sit on pins and needles worrying about who I suck off and who puts his dick in my ass. I am free. And there's nothing you can do to stop me now because it doesn't matter and I don't give a fuck. So go. Get lost. Find somebody else to save because I'm fucked up already and there's no use wasting your time on me.
Brookshield sits on the ground, shivering, catatonic. She's at a loss for words. Quentin stares triumphantly over her. Clayton's voice breaks him from this quiet revelry.
You're sick, man. It doesn't work that way. Happy birthday again.
Clayton walks away.
No. Wait. Please. I know that's not how it works. Believe me. That's just what I needed to tell her.
Her?
She's...
Who's she, man? And who are you talking to?
Quentin looks back at where Brooke was. She's gone. No one. It's just me. Me and you.
Yeah. It's me and you.
I like this.
I do too. Clayton starts walking away.
Quentin grabs him by the waist, and Clayton freezes in wistful anticipation.
Out of the corner of his eye, Quentin sees Brooke, who has been making a long, slow, painful exit upstage.
Quentin buries his head in Clayton's chest. He hears his breath and matches its rhythm.
They inhale and exhale together.
Unified, calm, together, complete.
It is a sigh of relief.
They are one.
Roger Q. Mason. So I met Roger discussing a role in a project that they have written, and that particular role did not fit me necessarily, and so we got a chance to sort of just talk, and it was really lovely. I figured at some point in the game of the life I would probably run across Roger again, and by George I did. So the 24-hour Plays and Monologues contacted me about a piece that they had, and Roger was the writer, and I got this piece and it scared me because it was material that I had no idea about. This woman had been in prison and she was from a sort of a particular background that I didn't really personally connect to, but I could find her on the page because it was written so beautifully. And I just... Roger is someone who is able to build a world that is true and that is explicit and doesn't hide or run away from things, and at the same time presents what could be really dark and what is really dark in a way that is so full of love and so full of light, so you almost have no choice but to continue to listen. That very first phone call where Roger called after they sent me the monologue,
I pick up the phone and I hear Roger, "Hey, baby." And I just immediately felt familiar and safe and protected and ready to dig into this world that they were creating, and knowing that the way that it was going to be done was the right way because they cared. And I think that the world could use a lot more Roger Hugh Masons. These wonderful, beautiful people who seek light and who do it while still looking to show you how harsh the truth can actually be. So I'm thrilled that Roger is being recognized, and I'm so excited for any and everything that is to come for Roger, because I think that this is probably just the beginning. And it's crazy, maybe after this COVID situation, Roger and I can actually sit down and like have a cup of coffee, because we have never actually met in person. We just had a lot of interactions now sort of in this virtual world. So I'm super excited for Roger, and I am a big fan.
The Fire This Time Festival was integral to my off-Broadway debut, the genderqueer coming-of-age play The White Dress. In this segment, two childhood friends, Jonathan and Winnie, have grown into a romance as teenagers. Recently run away from his tumultuous parents, Jonathan is currently living in Winnie's bedroom, honey, where he soon learns that Winnie is seeking changes in their own life as much as he is in his life. Now, binding their breasts and exploring their own identity, Winnie is beginning to question whether Jonathan will be able to grow alongside them in this brave, new, non-binary world.
So how does this work?
Well, I'm an emancipated minor now.
Don't you have to be 18?
There are exceptions. I'm 16, so I can start petitioning.
Petitioning, so it's not official. So I'll be harboring a fugitive.
Look, my parents are divorced. They're both completely fucked up. I applied to work at the ice cream shop nearby. If I get it, I can pay you rent. And I just need a few months, and then I can just...
Wow, too many thoughts, not enough space in between them. I think it's cool. You can stay here. Mom won't care. Don't worry about it.
I can clean that up.
Don't worry, relax. I've spilled much worse shit on there thinking about you. This is like the best sleepover I never had.
What are we doing?
We're having beers from my mom's fridge at 16.
No. Us. I've been with you officially since we were what, 13?
Why do you always have to define shit? Just let it be.
It's just that, frankly, I spend more time with you than at my own house. And I'm living here now. And we've never discussed that.
Just chill. Fuck. Just chill with the definition shit.
Sorry. I like you. And I want to understand.
Let's play a game.
No. What? Let's talk about this.
Never have I ever.
In 10 years.
Never have I ever. The sex edition.
You're hiding. In 10 years, we will still...
Fruits and vegetables. I'll start. Never have I ever used a cucumber.
Vegetable.
Just your turn.
Okay, here goes. Never have I ever eaten pineapple before kissing you.
Well, you should start.
Gives my mouth a rash.
Not for the mouth, it's for the taste of. Oh.
No, in 10 years.
We're here. Now. Make yourself at home.
I'll get to it.
Oh my God, you're making me nervous. I'll help. Hot.
It's for
Jonathan, stop.
Maybe this isn't a good idea.
This is beautiful.
It's not, Winnie. I'm confused. I want to stop dressing this way. I want to stop feeling this way. When I look at myself, I just
don't add up.
Yeah. Exactly. I
want to crawl under a rock and die. Don't be an 80s teen movie, please. Can I show you something?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, do you want to see them? It's cool if you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Hold on to your skinny jeans, John. Say something?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I shouldn't have.
No, Winnie, dude, just girl. I mean, what should I be saying?
It's all right, John.
When did you start?
A couple months ago. It makes me feel more like me.
Cool. Can I touch it?
Sure.
Does it feel tight?
First.
Hard to
breathe. Yeah, I get used to it. Does it sometimes though? What are you thinking, John?
Truth or lie?
God. Truth?
That I want to take it off and play with them? I'm sorry. I should have. That was insensitive, and I'm not respecting your. Maybe.
It's all right, John.
Just.
John, it's all right. I'll let you.
Hello, I am Kevin R. Free, and I wanted to say a couple of things about Roger Mason. Roger Mason submitted their play to the Fire This Time Festival, and someone said the keyboard must have spontaneously combusted when they were finished with that play. And I thought that was hilarious, and it was true. And then I watched some videos of Roger Q. Mason on the internet, and Roger Q. Mason was like the reincarnation of James Baldwin and Maya Angelou all rolled into one. And it was amazing to watch on the internet. And then when Roger's play was read, had a reading at the Fire This Time Festival, I gave Roger a deadline, and they missed the deadline, and I sent a strongly worded email, which was what I did as the producing artistic director of the Fire This Time Festival. It was the thing that I think I did best. I sent this strongly worded email, let Roger have it. And then when I saw Roger at the reading, I said, hey, how are you? Are you excited? And Roger said, you're not mad? And I said, well, that was yesterday. Today is your reading, and come on, let's do this. That's great, you know? And then we had a whole conversation about fashion and whatnot, because I was wearing a bow tie and a coat, blah, blah, blah. But the next thing that was, and is my favorite story about Roger, is that when Roger was listed on the Kilroy's list this year, and this is after we have had all kinds of interaction on the internet, phone conversations, etc. I sent a message congratulating Roger for getting on the Kilroy's list, and to thank them for for inviting me to the ceremony. And Roger said, who is this? And I said, it's Kevin R. Free. And Roger said, oh, I'm calling you. And my phone rang, and we talked for 15 or 20 minutes, and most of the conversation was me and Roger keying. And I think what I can say to sum up this video is that Roger is less and more and exactly what you think that Roger Mason will be when you see Roger's work, or you see them talking on the internet. And the feelings are just like family, more or less exactly as they should be. Roger Mason is all those things to me, and probably to you too.
The final piece of the evening marks a fusion of my interests in the Black diaspora and poetic expressionism. The Duant finds a man raised in the 20th century in the Egyptian afterlife, his heart weighed on a scale to assess its virtue, while a crocodile stands poised to devour him if it's deemed unworthy. In this piece, he must confront not only the lies he himself has told, but the lies that stretch back for generations.
My name is Cornelius Johnson. They call me Neil for short. I was born July 25th, 1948 in Austin, Texas. My father died when I was 4. He was working on the railroad as a porter, going east to west all year round. We didn't hardly see him, but for the holidays, Easter, Christmas, 4th of July. And when he came home, he only stayed long enough to take his shoes off, eat some red beans, hoe cakes, and rest his head for the night. He was back on the road. But we were always on his mind, sending postcards. Chicago ain't the same without my wife and son. One day we'll all sit on a beach in Miami. Doesn't matter if it says colored here, white there, the sun's just as hot no matter where you are. One night, December 15th, 1952, he was rushing to finish his last run before the holiday. He was going from New York to Miami and back home to us as fast as he could. that winter was bad. Snow and ice everywhere, and everybody on that train was mad. The white folks, mainly, trying to get to their winter homes before the first blizzard blew through the city and the holiday sales commenced. But that conductor wasn't taking any chances, so he rode that train as slow as he needed to. So it wouldn't slip off the tracks. So slow, in fact, that it stopped. It stopped in something like Virginia. And everybody got off, including Daddy. The porters were told to not get too comfortable because they were leaving first thing in the morning. And they didn't mind it not one bit because they were going to see their families for the holidays soon enough, right? Daddy rushed off that train to hail a taxi that could get him to the nearest colored hotel so he could call and let us know that there had been a little delay, but he'd be home for Santa's cookies got out Mama's piping hot oven. He waited and waited and waited, but not nary a taxi in sight. Then finally one stopped, and he asked that man to run him to the nearest hotel so he could call his son, because Johnson boys don't stay up late, and he needed to speak to me before my eyes closed for the night. So the man hurried and hurried. He hurried, and he hurried, and bam! 10 accidents happened that night, and all the colored hospital beds were full to the brim. Colored. We are colored. White is a color. Yellow, red, brown, they are all colors. But for him, for my father, it was colored. Just colored. That word killed him. There he stood, cold, wet, broken, bleeding out, waiting for somebody well enough to get thrown out into the wintry Virginia night so he could take that spot. But wasn't nobody leaving. My daddy died a colored death in the snow outside of the hospital. 2 feet from the door, 3 doors away from a room that could have saved his life. And on his tombstone, Mama put the lyrics to his favorite song. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. And then she put, but baby, you ain't never been down or out to me. Man, that was one big ass slab of stone she had to use, but she wanted him to look down and she wanted him to know that he was loved. I often think what it would have been like to grow up with him. We could have become black together, then Afro-American and African-American. Maybe he could have stayed alive long enough to be a person of color, but he's gone now. Okay. My heart's lighter now, all right? May I have my final rest? Okay. Daddy died when I was 8. He was working on the railroad as a porter, going east to west all year round. We didn't hardly see him, not even on holidays. Easter's, Christmas, the 4th of July, it didn't matter. And my mama emptied a bottle of Seagram's at the change of every season. And when he came home, she cussed him the fuck out. You dumbass nigga. Leaving me here to fend for myself with your nitwit son. He don't do his homework. He done been kicked out of school for pulling some black girl's hair singing she looked like a pickaninny with a nappy head and 2 ugly ponytails. He needs his father. You ain't never around. Where you going, nigga? Can't you see I'm talking to you? Oh, I know you ain't been on the railroad because I called your union and they said that your team was put on hiatus. You off for the season. You can't lie to me no how. Man, that fucking bitch. She'd like to cut my dick off if she had her way. She thinks she can run me. Watching where I go. What I do. Who I do it with. I'll show her. I'll show her who wear the pants in the house. I wear the goddamn pants in this house. You know that? You know that? I put the bread on the table. Doesn't matter if I'm home to eat it. Wouldn't taste no damn good anyway. She put so much goddamn butter on everything. That bitch wife of mine, she gained 5 pounds every year since the day we were married. What? That's 50 pounds. She a goddamn whore. Got her tongues heavier too. So much fucking mouth. Damn. She can't shut the hell up. Hey, did nobody ask you for your opinion, bitch? See, that's what I like about white women. They don't speak. Nah, they just moan. And when you put your black dick in their mouths, and they just fall asleep. Now, Abigail, that is some good pussy. Now, I met her in Virginia. She a redhead, I like her. And she got a big clit. She want me to run away with her. I tell her as soon as my boy gets old enough for college, I'll tell my wife, hey, I don't want your dull woolly head no more. I want something smooth and bright. I want Abigail. And fuck what she say. She yell and scream, call the police like Sapphire women do, but ain't nobody gonna listen to a black woman screams. They never do. Don't she know that? On December 15th, 1952, Daddy was rushing to visit Abigail after he finished his last run of the holiday. She agreed to meet him in the Colored Hotel before her husband got home. But that winter was bad. Snow and ice everywhere, and that conductor wasn't taking any chances. That train was his pride and joy, and it wasn't gonna slip off the tracks. No, not sir, not on his watch. Daddy couldn't give a shit. He was sick of his job anyway. Abigail told him he could sing like Arthur Prysock, and she was gonna take her half of her husband's money and buy him a club. When that train stopped, Daddy rushed off to hail a taxi that could get him. Get him straight to the Colored Hotel she mentioned, the Ebony Arms. She tried to call his office, but nobody knew where he was, and Mama got piping mad. She emptied 2 Seagram's bottles. And in the cold Virginia night, he just waited and he waited. God damn! And you niggas got no taxi in this fucking town! Finally, one stopped, and he told that man, hey, to run him to the Ebony Arms because he had an appointment and she wasn't gonna stay up late. So the man hurried, and he hurried, and he hurried, and he hurried, and he hurried, and BAM! My daddy died a colored death in the snow. Outside of the hospital, 2 feet from the door, 3 doors away from a room that could have saved his life, and on his tombstone, Mama put the lyrics to his favorite song. Nobody knows you when you're down and out, but she wanted to say, fuck you, you bastard! You got what you deserved. And you know what that happens? That happens when you mess with them white devil women. Mama used her discretion because she wanted him to look down and think that he was loved.
I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother used to have me stand at her yellow Formica table. Yes, honey, we had one, okay? And we used to sit there, and she'd say to me, I want you to repeat after me. I am somebody. I am somebody. I am somebody. And I think ultimately that's what my work aims to do, is to get people who see it and witness it to understand and truly appreciate the fact that they are somebody. Because for me, theater is the seeing place. It is the place where we see ourselves, our struggles, our dreams, our hopes, our nightmares, and our fantasies reflected back to us, so that we know that we are not alone and we are together in this journey as human beings. That's, to me, the ultimate goal of theater, is to find some spiritual common ground so that we know we are not alone. So I am all about recording and reporting the majesty and the magic of our people as multicultural folks, because there is true genius in our traditions and in our ways of life, and we need to record them because they are so often forgotten or silenced. And my job is to report this shit, because if I don't know who's going to. And goddamn it, I'm gonna do my part to keep it going. Shit. We ain't got no more spoons in this bitch. I'll tell you that right.
Roger Q. Mason, the brilliant being. Oh, I am so blessed to have just experienced all of that. Hi, everyone who's watching. My name is Larry Powell. I did the He Needed Help piece. I directed that. But now we are about to have the pleasure of chatting a few words and spending a couple of moments with the Roger Q. Mason, along with Julius Powell.
Hello, how you doing, Larry? Hi, Roger. Congratulations, love.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. A round of applause. Digital applause.
Digital applause, indeed. How are you feeling?
Okay, so I this is the first time I've seen the full cut, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna get this laugh out. Well, you know, they kept me acting a fool in that kitchen. I didn't know that they had footage of me not being able to find those spoons in there.
You know, I'm gonna capture it all.
That was you doing
Texting him. Keep it going.
Oh my God, you a mess, child. Oh my God, I have two Powells in the house with me.
Yes.
I am amplified and fortified to the hilt. You have no idea.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You call and we answer.
Listen.
I think too, speaking of calls, that people speaking about Roger Q. Mason phone calls, that is a whole other piece in itself. We'll get to that at a different point, but I just have to make that known.
Oh my God, you have not been indoctrinated into my world until you've gotten one of my landline fireside chats.
Yes, fireside chat.
They are just, because here's the thing, Julius. We are in community. We are building this work as people building on and living through each other's perspectives and experiences. And so if I can't sit down and really commune with you spiritually, civically, psychosocially, then we're not ready to work. So I spend a lot of time with collaborators just trying to figure out what's our way into each other. That's what the purpose of those phone calls really is. Those phone calls are a vetting and hazing.
Yes.
But they are also, more importantly than that, communion.
Mm.
They are minds coming together and seeing how they can work together to build some worlds.
Communion. That word right there. I find myself always in a space of communion when I'm with you, whether it's talking on the phone, whether it's collaborating on a piece, or just sharing a meal. Like I always feel like I am on land of creation. I am at the place of really of the burgeoning edge, the leading edge and cutting edge of what we are forming. You know, the new language of narrative and that inclusion of
Because here's why. If you ain't creating new shit, you ain't living.
Hello.
You can't stay on what you used to be or what you used to be doing.
One more time for the people in the back.
Every time I write something new, I am mortified. You know why? Because I'm like, bitch, who you need to be next? How do we marry up even within who we already are? What was that unfinished business? What was that new territory that we just saw the glimpse of in that last piece? And now we have a chance through this piece to further the craft. Because here's the thing, writing for me has many purposes. One of them is spiritual. We're all writing for spirit. We're all writing because of spirit. The other thing is that it's civic. We're the seeing place. Okay? Yeah. And the third thing is aesthetic. How do I move this craft forward? I've been given a forum, a time, a place, a moment, and an opportunity to move this craft forward. I can't rest on that. So every time I sit down on the page as a craftsperson, I'm thinking, what can I do next? What can I play with next on the page, in the room? What new methods of making can I explore? So even when we were doing this thing with you, Larry, he needed help. You know, that's a short story. So a lot of people don't know this. That's a short story I wrote in New Mexico. And I said, I want to do something different for this because I need folks to see where we are and where we're going because it's a record. And so he needed help was really a collaborative thing between you and me and Abdullah Helwani, because you were out of town and directing, and Abdullah was with me, socially distant. We did a whole thing. And I was up there and you just said, just live. So we bought some food and y'all pretty much just recorded me living in that apartment. And whatever that image means for people, that's what it means, you know. But that piece came out of a desire to try something new narratively. And I mean, when I saw the cut of that, I was like, y'all on some newfangled shit that I didn't even think about. So
Jabari, I mean, like, just to talk about the editing.
And the editing, yeah.
Work.
Jabari Phillips, say his name, and hire him. Jabari Phillips is a Black film editor living and working in Los Angeles, but the pandemic has made it possible for him to be available anywhere and everywhere. We need to be hiring more Black people and giving more Black people opportunities in Hollywood. So we're going to say his name again, Jabari Phillips. That was all the majesty of his work. And the other person I want to mention here, because that's really what we're doing now with these Zooms, is we're making short films, film is a sound designer's medium. And it's amazing to watch these same clips without sound design because they mean something entirely different. And so I have to say his name too, David Gonzalez, I call him my music director because he does all the stuff that I'm involved with. And just the way that he guides people emotionally and metaphysically through a work using sound. I mean, this last thing that you guys saw, Duat, we were trying stuff for weeks, and then I heard one sound a couple of days ago, and I said, wait a minute, let's go to 2 minutes. And y'all know he had a long ass phone call with me too. And I sat there and I was like, all right, you see that sound there? Now, what if you build on that theme? Yeah. And I know you kind of keep this because we already edited, you know, they got parameters on it. Yeah, you can't change this. I was like, well, what if this part was in the same key, but it's just this oscillating? harp thing. And then we move through. So I'm learning too. What I'm saying is I'm learning what it means to tell stories through sound, through eyes, through gut. You know, that's what this pandemic has invited me to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm. Yes, multimedia. Really, I mean, that's what we're all.
Multimedia.
That's what we're all
I'm
doing.
having to become that BAM red cat performance art bitch that I always wanted to be when I was younger. And I always said, when I grow up, I want to be this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm forced to be, but it's
Yeah.
fine. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not forced to be. I am taking the invitation to be.
That's right. It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
It is. It's an opportunity to think about our work in new ways.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's an invitation, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be so empowering, right? I feel like it can be so delicious in its ability to have us in the space of learning, because there's so much to learn. And I love to watch Roger learn as well, because Roger is such a genius to me. I love to watch people who know learn and know deeper and know more. And I'm just so thankful that you are the artist that proudly is that. Like, that's brilliant.
Can I tell you a secret to this learning?
Please.
It's nobody here but us chickens. So I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this secret. You know what the secret to knowing is? Admitting that you don't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
Admitting that you don't know shit, and that you're gonna call people into the world that you're in a creative sphere with, and say, I don't know shit, but I got these questions about it. And let's structure a process around those questions. And let's be constructive, and let's be objective, and let's be forward moving and efficient and effective at pursuing those questions. And what they're seeing on the page or on the stage or on their Zoom screen is nothing more than you in flight. We're not done. We're never done. Yes. We're never perfect. Yes. We captured this iteration, you know, and we're trying something. We're asking a certain constellation of questions right now, and we had to capture it because we had to put it on the live stream, so it had a due date. So we're just capturing this much. That's not a finite product. That's not the be all end all of this damn thing. Because guess what? If I think that's the be all end all of this thing, I'm done growing as an artist. I have stopped learning and growing, and therefore I'm dead. The great deadener of the human spirit is the lack of a need to continue growing and learning. So every chance I have to come into a room and learn something and say, I don't know shit, that's living. You know, my grandmother used to say to me, quoting John Dewey, every moment is a teachable moment.
Huh.
And you learn to do by doing.
Mm.
Every moment is a teachable moment, and you learn to do by doing, especially in our craft. It's a completely apprentice and experientially based learning process.
Mm-hmm.
We learn from you, Julius, the next generation. You know, when we were talking through what to do with this, because people don't know this, but I'm still plotting what to work on with Julius and Child. We're gonna figure it out one of these days. I'm gonna get you in one of these situations. Don't worry about it. And Larry, I ain't done with you yet.
Oh no, it's a lifelong.
It's a life thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I said I want to bring a dialogue together that is intergenerational, because Julius, you are who we're leaving this to.
Mm.
You are one of the legendary children, you know. I mean, you know, I'll be 35 years old in January, okay? And in gay years, that's you know what I'm saying? So mentorship is important, fellowship is important, community is important. I love working with young artists like you, like Keon Monty. You know, I love working with folks like y'all because y'all give me life. You know, y'all give me life.
You know, it's interesting though that you say that, Roger, because I listen, something that L. Morgan Lee said was that for you it's just the beginning, and I feel that similarly when I'm thinking, and now, you know, having seen this, what really is kind of like a retrospective of things that you have been working on, and as you said, with this final piece, an introduction to what's next. Right. So even though we're saying intergenerational, and you and I have both talked about all of these terms that the arts world tells us, like emerging, early career, mid career,
That
late
was a 2-hour
career.
phone call.
That was a
2-hour phone call
yeah.
on
One of our
Larchmont after I left yoga in the wee days before Corona. I remember that shit.
Right. And it's like so many of those labels, like anybody could be 80 years old and then be considered an emerging artist if they so happen to pick up a new craft. So in my mind, we are all emerging in new ways every time we make something new.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Everything is emerging.
That's right.
That's right.
Every new thing is emerging.
And
if we aren't emerging, then like you said,
we're dead.
That's it.
We're offering a dead gift. And you know what? There's a question. I just wanted to I wanted to make space for the audience. There's a question. I'm not going to say the name because I do not want to butcher it, but I do know how to say Merriweather. I would say Sheree. I don't know if that's right. Okay, but the question is,
Sheree.
Roger. Sheree, yes. Since there are so many stories to tell, how do you decide which ones to take to task?
You know, it's a very intuitive process for me. Sometimes it's a deadline. Sometimes it's an impulse. Sometimes it's an opportunity to collaborate with a particular person. So, you know, like, for example, Larry with He Needed Help. I'll just give that one. You know, I knew Larry needed to be involved in some way with this program because we had even toyed around with the idea of you acting in something at some point. And then I saw your fantastic series, The Gaze. The Gaze series, I'm going to say that name, The Gaze, Gaze series on Instagram. Look it up and get into it because it's true Black excellence. And I said, nah. Larry and I need to learn from Larry as an actor. I need Larry to direct me, you know? And so that was what happened was I saw that, you know, and I thought to myself, well, let's create an opportunity to do this now. So because we're all entrepreneurs and we're all the CEOs of our own little LLCs in the arts world.
Okay, we've spoken about this. We've spoken about this.
That was a 2-hour phone call too.
Particularly as Black queer people.
Yeah.
We are the manager, we are the agent, we are the writer, the director, the performer, administrative assistant.
Mostly administrative assistant.
Mostly
Somebody answer these emails. Yeah, somebody help me answer these emails. I don't even know how deep into these emails I am. This is so crazy. No, but it's true. This is a hugely entrepreneurial craft. So I think the way you choose what projects you're going to do is you listen to your instinct and your spirit, and you also think about what you know, what you want to tell. Now I'm going to be a little mercenary and say something. You also want to be marrying up. And so every time I work on something, I think, where is there a relationship where there is a mutual betterment that's going on? You know, how is it so that I'm contributing positively to somebody's life and they're contributing positively to mine, and there's this mutual space in between where art gets made? Because I am the first one to tell you there's no one single writer that's doing anything. If you actually did a forensics exam on all the excerpts that you saw tonight, there's so many fingerprints and footprints on this work. And it's impossible to accurately depict exactly every single person that's worked on these things. You know, the West is so quick to coronate one person. That's called tokenism, you know. But what happens if that person then says, I give credence and thanks to all the people that helped make this happen? All of a sudden it decentralizes the monolithic idea of the singular writer. The writer is just the vessel and the curator, but there's so many people doing this together. And that's what I really aim to do, is use these works as an occasion to build community. Did we have another question? I see y'all looking down. I can't see none of these questions.
No, and I wanted to, because it was a perfect segue, because Dana says, as a fellow Black genderqueer person, I'm fascinated with how stories about ourselves are developed. And I think that is speaking to the collaborative process.
Yeah.
Which is what the gaze series.com is about. And I do want us to speak about that, because that was another one of the multi-hour phone calls. I remember I was in Louisville, Kentucky on the phone.
I called your ass because I need to make sure you was okay. I was calling you to make sure you was all right, because I done seen posts about, you know, you had been arrested, and you listen.
Yes.
That's when we say activism, we mean Larry Powell.
We mean all of us, and we show up.
And I was calling you because I was like, do we need to call somebody? Do we need to call somebody? Because I just saw, and you was like, no, we fine. And I was like, okay, good. Now here's this 2-hour phone call though.
Yes. And I remember sitting on the curb out in Louisville, taking a break from giving fresh produce to the communities, with Until Freedom, and having this conversation that fed me. Like this conversation with my siblings here, gender queer, non-binary, whatever else you want to say, and choose to say, and feel confident in saying, and own. Like, it was feeding me and giving me fresh produce to produce.
But let me say this to you, because Dana's talking about a deeper matter too. And this is what's so brilliant about Dana's comment. Dana, we heart you. I'm gonna amplify you for a second, because I don't even know if you was doing this, but I'm gonna let you know that you was doing it. We're talking about methodology, okay? Yes. The power of this queer amplification, this moment of visibility, and this moment of reckoning, is the fact that the traditional mode of dramaturgy, of story development, is being frayed. And we are now in a moment where we have the opportunity to queer and query our methods of making.
Yes.
Okay? Now, the hierarchies are socially distant from us. They are 6 feet away in our souls, if not more. But what that does is that opens up this luminous space where we can innovate anew. And we can now define for ourselves exactly what kind of theater we want to make. And ain't nobody gonna stop you either. Because anybody can get on this StreamYard and in 2 weeks have 100 people show up and they read it. But what else is happening is, how do I make this work? Well, this work belongs to queer folks. This work belongs to the people. Well, how do I bring the people into my process? You know, just today, I'm working on a piece. I can't say too much about it, but I'll say that it's a new piece. It's a commission. And it involves queerness and fashion design. And I brought in a young woman to consult with me and my dramaturg on what the life of a young aspiring queer fashion designer would be. Why? I'm not going to imperialize and colonialize that experience by putting my perceived version of it. I want to sit down with those people and see what, from your own lived experience and perspective, how do you perceive this? Yeah. So that I can be true and authentic to that. Now, the curation, that becomes my writing, because I have a particular set of dramaturgical questions I'm trying to ask through the work. That becomes mine. But at least let me come in with a knowledge and a respect and a reverence for the people that I'm writing to and writing for and with and about. You know, that's what I think queer dramaturgy is. Queer dramaturgy is community-based. And it's community-centric, because the purpose of that play is not to bring me in. It's to say, here's a struggle that this person has that you may not hear about, that you may not see, but I want to open that up. And in opening that up, I've given them a forum. Don't worry about me. I'm going to step over here and sit in the green room nervous as hell in the bag. Let me sit. Let me give him, her, them that stage. That's the purpose. Now, when you as a writer can get to that place, you have truly transcended the corporate structure and you're free. Because you're selfless now. You're selfless now. It's not for you. It's for them.
So profound and beautiful. I want to speak to one thing that when Lynn was giving you your flowers that you sowed her, and Lynn Nottage, and
yes,
who we love, we speak the name of.
We love Lynn. We love Lynn. She was my first playwriting teacher at undergrad. My first playwriting teacher. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
One thing that struck me was she said that you came in, and I mean, I don't mean to paraphrase, I'm trying to remember exactly, but you were so sure about what you wanted to say is the gist of what I got. You came in with a sure vision, and she used the word infectious. It is infectious. It is, and I would love for you to speak to that, because I wonder if someone is watching out there who may not know. And we now know that that is a secret to knowing, right? But then when you are around people who seem to know and who seem to be so on fire and sure and empowered, and you are in a space of, well, what is my voice? Do you have anything to say to them? Do you have anything to say to us when we are there?
What is my space and my voice is the question, right?
Sure.
You know, and I'll tell you the answer. You already know. You already know, because it's that little thing that you're teetering around while you ask that question. That little thing, that little question that keeps bothering you. And sometimes it takes a mentor, and sometimes it takes a truth teller to say, now you sitting there asking yourself what you want to write about, but you already know. And it's usually the thing that makes you completely uncomfortable.
Yep.
And the key to good writing is to embrace discomfort and to stand whole in the face of the unknown. Those are the two keys to good writing: to embrace discomfort and to stand whole in the face of the unknown. If you can do those two things, then you're on your way. You're damn sure on your way, you know, and nobody can take that away from you, because that house is impeccably built on a extraordinarily strong foundation. No one can take that away from you, because you know why? You own your vulnerability. If there's one thing I have learned over time, my writing is strongest when I'm at my most raw and vulnerable. When everything is stripped away except little old me sitting in the room, listening to spirit, telling it honestly. You know, that's what I know. I mean, when you look at like Larry Owens's wonderful interpretation of Quentin, you know, and that was the first monologue I wrote where he's talking about Clayton, he's talking to me, not some other guy, you know. What did I don't remember the you know, you write these things and then they go because they're not yours, they're the people's then, you know, but I think he's talking about some racially ambiguous pan-human that's the wet dream of every I don't even know, something like that. I looked at that and I said, I was telling the truth to myself that day, because how often do we feel like they're talking to me? I'm being made special today. Now, implied in that is all the times you feel ignored.
Yeah.
All the times you feel invisible. But you have to be able to stand in vulnerability and in communion with that discomfort in order to write something like that. So the other thing I would say to a young writer is never be ashamed of the things that you think make you look weak, because that's your strongest suit.
Yes.
That's your strongest suit. That's it. The stuff that you think makes you look weak or unfashionable or ugly or whatever other diminutive terms you want to put on that body and mind and spirit, that's what you need to be writing about. Because that's where the soul is. That's where the funk is.
That's
You know, you know what I'm saying?
That's
And
it.
Larry, listen, Larry. I see you wearing Miss Molasses Jones's shirt right now.
This is from the closet. This is from the Roger Q. Mason line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Jesus.
Boy,
Yeah.
for you.
Which one? You wearing some? No, you wearing your own stuff. You wearing your own
I
white
got
dress
this.
stuff.
This inspires me to get
Julius.
this. Oh, Julius.
I see Julius over there wearing that white dress. I mean,
yeah.
oh
a little
Lord.
business casual for the chat after.
A little business casual. Do we have another one? I can't see nothing.
You know what I'm feeling? We are feeling fed. We are feeling.
Yeah.
We are feeling in that space of the unknown, in that space of vulnerability, and galvanized by that, and completely arrested by your offerings. And I'm so thankful.
Yes.
Seriously, in this year of 2020, have the blessing to honor and spotlight an artist such as you. I really mean that. And I'm thanking all of the gods for the Fire This Time Festival.
Yes.
I want to talk about them for a second before we get off.
Please.
How I got involved, and I want to speak to this because this is truly the lesson of the day. I have known the inimitable Angelica Cherie. Okay, I'm gonna say her name. I have known the inimitable Angelica Cherie since we were selling tickets at the Mills Playhouse in Santa Monica on Virginia Road in maybe 2009 or 2010 for Ensemble Studio Theater LA. And we used to sit outside. Chuma Galt was our mentor in the program, and we'd go and we'd sell those tickets to these new play festivals, and we'd watch all these other folks go up and read their work. And we said, one day we're going to be up there. And Angelica said, no, one day we're going to be in New York. Angelica went first. She had a storied time at a couple of programs. I know she did the Columbia, and I think she also did the NYU program for musical theater. And she was involved with the Fire This Time. And she knew that it took a village to raise a fellow sister, as me. She brought me in, and she encouraged me to apply, and I got in to the first season that I did. That was my first time in New York as a professional writer. If not for Ange bringing my name forward to the Fire This Time, none of this would have happened.
Yes.
And if not for Caesar and AJ and Kevin and all the other countless folks that have continued the amplification work that Ange started then, bringing a little dreamer from LA, really from Santa Monica, California, out to New York City for the first time. I wouldn't have a New York credit to my name if I hadn't had the Fire This Time. That was what started everything with me being in New York. So I will always wear with pride and with humility and with gratitude the banner of alumnus of the Fire This Time Festival. And I will always bear with pride the banner of friend and advocate to Angelica and all of the folks, AJ, Caesar, Kevin, Nicole, list goes on, Julianne, all these wonderful, marvelous people, Erez, fabulous people, Emily, who we just met. Come on, yay. All these people that it takes. They're in here right now saying, Roger, shut the hell up. We got to shut this down. You know, but listen, but you've got to give credit, because behind something like this, There's dozens of people going on around you, and all the people helping to make this happen. And that's the last lesson I'll say.
Absolutely.
Is the most important word you can learn in our business is humility.
Yeah.
Humility.
Take us out, Julius.
Yes.
Take us out,
Thank you
child.
so much, Roger. Thank you. Thank you. This what a wonderful night it's been. And to see I see with this night, I see the horizon for everything that is on its way, right? In a year that has tried to keep us from seeing that horizon, right? In moments like these, I see the clouds parting, right? I see the ship continuing to where it needs to go. So thank you so much for leading us, and thank you to everyone that tuned in to help us celebrate this work and this human being who has given us so much and will continue to give us so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all so much. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Social distance. All the above. Yeah. Thank you.